Hello friends, welcome to my channel Power of AEM. In this series of videos, we are talking about and learning about and we'll do some hands-on on very new feature of Adobe product, that is dynamic media with openapi. I hope you have already heard about that, but we will learn more and do some hands-on to explore that feature, how you can implement and how you can leverage this feature with your overall uh, environment. So let's start with the introduction of dynamic media with openapi. This feature is coming with multiple names. Earlier it was next gen dynamic media, and recently the name has changed to dynamic media with openapi. Dynamic media openapi is providing us most of the dynamic media features. If you are not having dynamic media product, however, if you want to use dynamic media features, then how you can utilize that? For that purpose, APIs are available. And once we are working on the API, it means we are having more controls. We can do different operations on the fly. We will do some more hands-on and learn about how you can do more controls or how you can generate different type of variation of the asset. By using this feature, you can maintain all the asset at one place. So your source of truth always at one place. However, you can expose or share your asset across the channels. For enterprise level of organization, that should be a game changer because you are having multiple different channels or might be different systems where you want to use common assets, and those assets should be governed as well. So only approved asset you want to show to or share with the other systems, either that is your internal system or external system, you can easily go with this feature. It is faster than any other solution. If I'm giving you a number, it is more than 30% faster as compared to other. It supports all the web formats which are supporting by different browser and devices. And transformation is very easy because we just need to supply some presets or some different modifiers, and based on that, we can get the desired asset in a return. As whenever we are talking about governance and the brand integrity, this feature will be really helpful to establish that. Why? Because it is working on certain assets which are having a particular status, and it automatically do some different operations whenever we are changing the status. So we will learn how we can manage our assets so it will be available for dynamic media with OpenAI platform. And through that, we can expose those assets or share those assets with different channels and systems. So let's talk about who can use this feature. As this is just a API, it doesn't mean we have to be very technical and someone who is having very good understanding with the APIs, then only they can use. There are another platform, or you can say UI available, which we are also utilizing to play around with the dynamic media OpenAI assets. So in that case, you can share all those assets with your marketing team because we are having UI dashboard or where your marketing team can land and can do some different mm, operations, like which asset they want to expose, which asset they want to use. For that purpose, they can easily manage all those assets. However, when we are talking about asset authors are playing crucial role here because they need to take a decision. Is that asset having what is the status of a particular asset? It could be approved, rejected, in progress, and any other custom just once author is taking a decision and putting the right information in the metadata, then that asset will be available for use. However, developers can also do the similar kind of activity. They can do the similar operations that authors are doing through their backend code, as well as they can expose the assets which are already in a certain status with external applications. It could be any different application, like if you are working on spa, if you are having any external application, might be you are having some different website where you want to consume the asset, your campaigns or any other thing that you are having external that you can use. However, they can also share the similar assets with internal users. Internal users means you do not want to provide access to your authoring tier, AEM asset authoring tier. However, you want to share some assets to get it review, or might be to check with your creative team or something like that. You can share it with internal teams as well. Site authors can consume similar assets that those are exposed, but we are having some different steps to do that. And in the next video, we will learn about how site authors can utilize the dynamic media open API. External team, we have discussed, there could be any team who want to use that. They can easily download or render the asset on the browser, or if they are going to use through call, might be on their backend system or some scripts they want to use, they can also leverage this API. Let's talk about benefits. In the first benefit is the governance, because here governance will be very easy. No need to apply any certain rule on those assets. Why? Because we are just exposing approved status assets to the external users or internal users. If you are working with dynamic media open API, it means only approved assets will be shareable or working by the or anything that any operation that they want to perform, any external team, they has to perform only on the approved asset. If asset is not approved, for example, you are having some assets with status like in progress, rejected, in that case it will not be visible to any of the user who are working with dynamic media open API. So your only asset authors can see that. However, none of the users can see that. If I go back to the users information, like how much different personas can use that, so only asset author can see the asset which are with different statuses. So here governance will be very easy. Only approved asset will be visible and usable by the teams. However, if at any point of time, if you're changing the status, for example, approved to in progress or approved to rejected, then that asset will always be removing from the dynamic media open API channel. Now let's talk about the other benefit. Distribution will always be a challenge, because in a bigger organization, in an enterprise level of system, you always having a trouble to share the common asset with multiple teams or multiple systems. Sometimes teams are sitting internal environment or external environment. So how we can expose those assets to all of the teams? With that feature, it will be very easy. And you can easily share and promote your assets to any of the teams sitting anywhere, internally or externally. When we are talking about how we can leverage the same with AEM sites, all the approved asset can be used through connected assets. So through connected asset, you can always traverse and use the AEM sites. Now let's talk about the another feature, uh, as that is API available. So any external application or REST endpoints are exposed, so they can easily use that. As you are maintaining all the asset on single source of truth, so it will be as easy to maintain the way that you are maintaining other assets. So all the asset at one place, you have to be very uh, restrictive how many different type of users or authors are coming to play around the assets, who can do the changes on the asset status. So your governance will be always at one place, and you can generate different type of variations of your asset through your different presets, modifiers, and those would be used by different teams. Also, this feature is available with the EDS, which is Edge Delivery System, which is again another feature of AEM to build these static sites. So that is all from this video. Stay tuned to check out how the architecture is for OpenAPI and how we can leverage the assets using this platform on Adobe sites, content pages, and how external teams can leverage that. So thank you for watching, and please do subscribe my channel.